But then that brings us to another incident that happened.
Oh yeah.
You want to tell them, bro, what happened? This is crazy. Hey guys, it's Alvin. This video is going to be something special. We just want to take this moment to share the joy and the happiness that you guys have given us in our previous video, which was my first ever short film on the channel. We'll take this time to give you guys an insight on what we went through as a team to make the short film. But first of all, let me introduce to you guys my very best friend and the cameraman slash cinematographer, Kevin James. Yeah, he does have an Instagram page if you guys want to follow him there. You want to tell them your Instagram page?
KevJames345.
KevJames345 at Instagram. He's a pretty good photographer as well. I mean, this is his first time experience working behind an actual camera, doing films basically, and mine as well. We want to share with you guys some of the basic experiences we went through. Alright guys, to start off, I just want to first of all explain to you guys how I found this amazing guy called Kevin James who works behind cameras, because obviously, as you guys know, I do my videos by myself and I don't really have anyone working behind the camera. For this film, I was planning to work behind the camera myself and have someone do the acting, but then obviously no one was like that interested or that down to do the main actor roles. I was kind of stuck, which was one of the most hardest time during the making of the short film. We had a trip where we went for a few days out as a youth group, and that's how I found Kevin. Kevin was taking some awesome shots using his iPhone that he has. James, Oppo, sorry, not sorry, iPhone. It looks like an iPhone, but it's an Oppo. At KevJames345, if you guys check him out, yeah, if you guys check him out, you can see that he takes this all really good nature photography. And I asked him straight up, are you interested in helping me out doing this short film? He was really enthusiastic and interested, and he said he's ready. His commitment is basically what led the project, and that's why I'm really thankful for him, and thankful to God as well, because he was really professional in his level of field, which was the camera work he did. So I thank God for that, and I thank Kevin, basically my boy, for helping me out there. So I just want to now ask Kevin, obviously, how was his experience, because I know this is his first time working behind the camera. Well, he obviously takes photos a lot, but I'm pretty sure this is his first, film taking experience. So yeah. I just want to ask him, like, what did you feel? How did you learn basically using the camera and like directing the people, basically constructing the shots and all that, bro?
Well, let's start off with photography. I've been taking photos since like year 10, year 9. I've never used an actual camera in my life to take photos or even film. I don't usually take film.
Yeah.
But for all the photography on my photography page, basically I started with an iPhone 4 that I used to have. Do you remember the one that was
Yeah, I remember the fully cracked iPhone 4 that he still took photos with that.
I still don't know the basics of an actual camera, like change lighting and all that stuff. When I had started working with Alvin and all the camera work, like I was really interested in how an actual DSLR works, because I've always wanted one, but yeah, I never really had the money enough because I didn't know my job. Anyway, so what got me interested is that I've been always using a phone, and I basically know how to take good photos with the phone, but I've never taken good photos with the camera. But this time it was filming, which is like a next level. So because in photos you just stand there and take a picture, but filming you gotta move around, you gotta direct people.
True.
So that's what was actually challenging to me, and that's what got me in, because I like a bit of a challenge.
Who doesn't like a challenge? By the way, this guy knows how to do parkour, so his life is pretty much full of challenges, man. But yeah,
I do. So okay, let's start with the directing part. What helped me direct was when Alvin told me what kind of shot he wants, I can visualize in my head where the camera goes, what kind of movement you want.
And that's exactly what you need in a director who can understand your shots. I have a certain viewpoint of where this should go, and when I told him the shots, he could understand it straight up.
I think I was good with an actual camera because I've been taking videos like on Snapchat. I don't really do like...
Plug your Snapchat right now, plug your Snapchat.
I like to make things look good and creative on my Snapchats and my stories and Instagram stories, so that helped me really help with an actual camera, like your camera for a short film, moving and panning and working with an actual camera. So that's my experience.
If you guys are beginning filmmakers and you guys in Australia, Perth, you know who to contact. But I'm sorry, I already took this guy. I already took this guy. Alright guys, now we're going to share with you guys some of the struggles we went through on this short film, because obviously when you work for something such as a short film or a film even, there are struggles obviously, there are problems, there are drawbacks that you can face, and we want to share with you those things, and we want to tell you what we did sort of to overcome it.
The first struggle that I was kind of not annoyed, but like was one of the biggest struggles was having the actors in line to act in the film. Like if they don't have interest, then you won't be a good film. Like they need to have interest and they need to have the commitment to come every day.
Exactly.
To act.
The people would come, but then the second day or the third day they couldn't come because of various reasons, which we can't blame them for that. There's obviously commitment issues, but that's not a problem. But we're saying that's a difficulty we face. So another thing that we did was, because obviously in Australia, in Perth right now, it's a really cold time, and it's raining pretty much like every single day, and especially during when we did this short film, we had to do so many shots outside, and when we did these shots we had weather problems. It was raining and we had to wait till the rain was over, and we had to wait with our equipment, and our camera got wet a lot of times.
I basically had to take a few shots with the camera under my shirt.
Oh yeah, it was pretty much like that. He was holding it, but then still the lens would get like wet and then like droplets of water and stuff. But I should admit, on the trip day, the last few shots in the video, the trip day had like pretty much like really good weather, especially when we reached the Serpentine Dam.
Oh yeah, the dam.
Yeah, remember like when I'm walking and stuff like this, like that sunlight just going through the hills.
Sometimes like when it's sunny and you go out to shoot and then like 5 minutes later it starts raining, so
oh yeah, that was
it's hard to predict what the weather is.
Exactly, and we couldn't like wait till a better day because we didn't have that much time.
Basically we did this all in
1 week, and we had no time to reshoot any of this. That's why if you like watch the short film like twice, you can realize a lot of mistakes in it, in acting, in the level of cringe as well, because we couldn't take reshoots. We did it in 1 week. Well, this was for a retreat, a teens retreat we did for Jesus Youth. But yeah, anyway.
If you guys remember in the short film, at the very start where Alvin, the main actor, he comes in and he leans onto a fence, and he's at a train station and there's a train coming from the back. So to get a few shots with the train coming and the train going past, and then but Dennis pulls him back to stop him from suiciding, and the train going past in the background. All these things takes a lot of patience, because you can't do all that one shot with one train. Like I swear,
one camera.
We had one camera. Well, I swear, like we waited for at least 15 to 20 trains to go past, and we spent like 2 hours in that place. And it was 2 days. We spent 2 days trying to get like those shots. So yeah, it's hard. You need a lot of patience when you're making filmmaking, and patience with the actors and the camera and the weather and things you gotta wait for, like the trains, for example.
Another thing that we faced was some of the problems we had when we were shooting in public, obviously, because we need permission to do all that stuff. We didn't have any permission. We were just like walking around with a camera and a tripod and a few people just trying to do things. So we had a couple of people coming up to us and like telling us, you're not allowed to shoot here, or you're not allowed to shoot there. So we had to change our location basically.
Yeah, they said that we can't. We were shooting in our current campus near the engineering building, and this guy came up to us while we were in the alleyway shooting the part where I get beat up. And then the guy came and what did he say to us?
He said, you know that you will get in trouble and I'll get in trouble as well if I'm in your shots. And then we said, we're not gonna shoot you, bro. And we're not gonna violate anybody's privacy or anything.
Kinda gets annoying when someone don't let you do what you already planned to do like a few days before.
Exactly. But that's, again, we can't really blame any of them because it's our responsibility to get permission to shoot in public. Well, being a filmmaker, ain't nobody got time for like getting permission and shit. Anyway.
We only had 1 week to do it as well.
Yeah,
so
1 week, bro. Gotta do it, we gotta do it fast. But then that brings us to another incident that happened.
Oh, yeah.
You wanna tell them, bro, what happened? This is crazy.
Before when I was talking about the train times, right? I think it was on the second day. Was it on the second day or the first day?
It was the second day.
Second day.
The last day we were basically shooting that.
Oh yeah, we finished. Okay. So the last day we spent like an hour and a half there, basically because the weather was bad and we had to wait for the trains and stuff. But when we finished, we were walking past the road, crossing the road to go for our next shot. While we were crossing these, was it a police car?
Yeah, it was a railway patrol.
Yeah, the railway patrol car. They crossed onto us. They like kind of blocked us, and they got out of the car and they started telling us that they got a report from one of the citizens in the car, and they said that there's 2 people trying to jump the fences on the railway.
Commit suicide.
They thought we were trying to commit suicide, but basically, yeah, you know. It was kind of risky to be honest.
Yeah, it was kind of risky. We were just like leaning on it when we were pretending to jump. Yeah, if you guys saw the short film, if you guys can watch the short film, I'll put the link down in the description right now. Go and watch it.
They were telling us about how if we're not citizenships, we get sent back or something.
Oh my god. Oh, well, we would just reenact what happened. Alright, just watch this. Young man, come over here. Can I talk to you for a second? What were you trying to do there? Huh? A young lady was driving past and she told me you were trying to commit suicide.
No, I wasn't.
No, listen. If you came here on a visa, you're gonna get sent straight back to where you came from for what you did. What?
Even though we said all the negatives right now, the positives were a lot more. Like it was like 2-3 times more, and it's more than we expected. We'll start with how after we released the film, there was like a couple of views and they started sharing on Facebook. Like when I was on Facebook, it's like this auntie shared this and tagged a lot of people, and this uncle shared. So we started from Perth and we started getting a lot of feedback from the people we meet. Like it was good, the acting was good, the message was good, and how it connects to God, all that stuff. Yeah. And then on the youth group chat on WhatsApp, I was scrolling through and there's a feedback from Father Bonnie.
Wasn't it Father Bonnie?
He sent like a legit whole paragraph saying like he analyzed the whole film bit by bit and he said what he liked the most, which is a big deal because he's a special person. He's important.
And Jesus youth.
Yeah. What surprised us even more is that this film we got all the way to America in New Jersey, where they're using it to show the youth there and send a message to them. We are really glad that it got all the way to there, just from Perth. We were just doing it for our teens youth gathering.
Just a teens retreat, guys.
Yeah.
But look where it goes.
We never expected it to go all the way there, but we're really happy that it went all the way there.
Yeah. And it's kind of like inspiration for us as well to keep on going, because this is our first one and we sort of rushed it. We didn't take retakes or anything like that. But then to see the amount of support and love you guys showed to us beginners like this gives us the inspiration to keep on going, to work as a team for God and spread His love and message out to the world through what we can do the best, right?
I'll start at the positive. There's so much more positive than this, even though we were kind of bummed about the negatives.
Yeah.
But still, for myself, I'm happy that I got off the phone and I'm onto an actual camera for once, taking actual stuff, and that's a completely new experience for me, and I thank Alvin for that.
Oh, good, bro. I got you, man. I got you. And I'm happy that everything was perfectly timed. I was originally going to do another short film, but that didn't happen, and this happened, and this was more effective in a way because when you bring the concept of God and faith and a relationship with God, it obviously takes everything to a whole new level. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and hear us talking and sharing our experience for all those beginners out there. And we're still beginners, we're still learning a lot of things. And don't forget to watch and subscribe to the channel as well, because we need to grow every single day. Thank you guys. Like and subscribe. Peace.